Hey there, manifesting generators. Thanks for joining me for your intuitive reading. If you're new to the channel, I do my readings based on your human design type. There are 5 of those types. And I use tarot, oracle cards, and occasionally runes. The readings are non-date specific, so if the reading resonates with you at this time, then it's your reading. All right, let's get started. So, let's see what we have here. First card I pulled is Lace the Moon's Daughter. This signals to me a time of illumination, something coming to light, finally seeing the truth about something. There's some, let's see if you can see her face here. And his face, there's some playfulness going on. You know, there's some excitement or giddiness around finding the next clue. You're starting to see maybe some patterns, synchronicities, some pieces coming together, like pieces that caught your attention before, but you didn't know what they meant. And now, like, little things are just coming together, and you're like, oh, that's what that was about. Maybe your psychic abilities are coming more online. You're seeing more symbols in your dreams, maybe sort of foretelling what will happen or illuminating the present moment. And with this card coming out as a clarifier, the Three of Bows, fulfillment. I think this illumination, this whatever is happening, and to me, I think it is some sort of like spiritual upgrade. Yeah, like something's coming to you in your dreams. You're seeing new symbols or imagery or something that's speaking to you. And it feels like something you've been waiting for. Like this person here is just beyond. See, these sort of staffs are the gateway. And you're about to cross that threshold, and there's somebody here waiting for you, ready to initiate you, ready to bring you into the fold, to initiate you to a new, like, pool of knowledge. But it's something that you've maybe known that at some point in your life was coming, and it's finally showing signs that you're getting close or you're arriving. It's coming together. And I'll just mention for myself, I'm also a manifesting generator. I had a dream last night, and it prominently featured a kingfisher, the bird, the kingfisher. And I was looking up this afternoon what that symbolized, you know, what that meant as a totem. And it has many meanings, but one of them is that increasing psychic abilities, sort of being led to these this new array of like you finally have access to something that you didn't previously have access to. All right. And I think currently you're moving away from feeling this sort of scarcity or lack or imbalance, like feeling like you're sinking, you're struggling, you're like paddling fiercely in the water, but you're not going anywhere and you're trying not to drown. So if you see the swan here, it's like there's just such a gentle flow of this water. And, you know, swans and ducks, but swans especially, are just so graceful. And those little feet are just, you know, paddling away underwater. Just doo-doo-doo. But they look so composed. You know, the swan looks so composed, so dignified, so sure of itself, so on display. I feel like that's, you know, you're finally moving into that place where like things are moving. I might not be able to see that, you know, things are moving, but they are moving. And coming out with the fairy godmother, I would definitely say this is true. She usually signals a time of good luck coming into your life, of fortune, a time of healing of your heart, of you opening up more to receiving, opening up to abundance, that sort of thing. It's like if before you were avoiding asking for help or refusing receiving help, it's like finally now you see that you were always deserving of it, and there was nothing that made you less by asking for help or receiving love. Like you don't have to block that anymore. You're finally opening to letting it come to you. And there's this, you know, this owl here, this sort of sense of knowing that you've got these benevolent guides on your side. As far as what you're moving towards right now, I would say that you're closing a chapter. You've gone through an incredible journey, and for me, this doesn't feel like it's like this past week, this past month. This feels like years you've been going through something, unearthing something, overcoming something, you know, this journey card, you know, and through all of the death and the struggle, the challenges, all the things that you faced, you're picking it clean. You know, you're picking the bones clean. You're finding nourishment in all the things that were seemingly bad, and you're using them to fuel this next stage of your life. Like all this, you've gained so much wisdom. You know, you're picking the bones clean for this wisdom. Things are finally illuminating as you're ending one journey and you're beginning another. And with coming out with the fairies who were kissed by the pixies, this is such a sweet card, which makes me feel like you're not in this. Like this is kind of a dark card. It feels like you're moving out of it, like you're starting a new journey. And This card, what I noticed most is the first thing I saw today when I looked at it was this lion here. This lion. Have you ever come home to an animal, especially a dog? It's the best example I can think of right now is when they get so excited when they see you come home. They just can't wait to jump up on you and get hugs and kisses and just be reunited with their pack. It's like you're coming home. It feels like you've gone through this huge journey and you're finally coming home. And they're all waiting for you. All these little fairies, this lion, they're all waiting for you with open arms. And there's so much just really sweet energy, really sweet, very light energy coming through. It's like you've crossed the finish line and there's all these people waiting to tell you what a good job you did, what give you a Gatorade, a glass of water, one of those, foil capes, just making sure that you're taken care of and you have everything you did because you did such a great job and you finally crossed the finish line, and what an amazing feat it was. Like they've been cheering you on and finally they get to reunite with you. So it feels like as you're crossing this threshold, you're being welcomed in and you're coming home. If you've had walls up before around your heart to protect yourself, these fairies help to heal the heart, to open back up the heart, to remind you, just like Fairy Godmother, of that unconditional giving and receiving, understanding that is, that's your right in life. Like you can always have unconditional giving and receiving. And that this, the one thing I that came to me yesterday, I listened to Lee Harris does monthly energy updates, and the last thing he said in his video for May of 2020 was, "You are love and you are loved. You are love and you are loved." And that's sort of the feeling, like you've been through some really difficult stuff here. It's been really challenging. And now you're finally coming back to this. Like that's all crumbling away. It's all in the past. You're leaving the past behind. You've picked the bones clean for the wisdom, but you don't have to take all of the carcasses with you. You're coming into this really lush, loving place. I don't know. So it does, overall, it just feels like you're finally ending something, a challenging time, some difficulty, and you're starting to find illumination in places that felt like complete darkness, and that's some new energy and new resources are becoming available to you. And that there is this, you know, these fairy cards are very fun and magical and sweet and loving, you know, like these two are having such a good time. The fairy godmother, I mean, we all know the tales about the fairy godmother. Who doesn't want one? And the fairies who kiss the pixies. I mean, just so sweet. So I'm excited to hear what you think of the reading, and if it resonates with you, and what's going on in your life, if this feels like this is something you're experiencing. I know that, you know, sometimes as people doing the work every day to advance ourselves in, you know, as souls, to advance our souls, it can be a lot of work. It can be really difficult. It can be a very long journey. Sometimes it can feel very lonely, very taxing. And so when you finally make it to this gateway, and you're welcomed and showered with love and everything that you've been looking for, it just feels so gratifying. Anyways, that is your reading, and thanks for stopping by. I hope I see you next time.